Alright, so how do we replace a print head on Epson 7015 or 7015 VF? Stands for workforce. We need to turn the power on and pull out the power supply cable when the head starts moving. We need to get it out of the bay over here. Alright. So that's okay. Need to pull out the sys. And now we have only one plastic piece inside. You lift this hook over here, push it to the left, pull it up. Oh, correction, you have two plastic pieces holding the cables inside. All right. So now to get the cable out, it needs to go up, and what's in the way is this contact board over here, which has a plugged in cable here on the right side. So we do need to disconnect that cable over here. So it's placed in this slot over here. Just pull it out and pull the cable out. Okay, so now we can lift the contact board up as well. And you have two hooks on each side. I did release one. One should be somewhere over here on the left. Let's see if we can find it. You got this small cover over here that is covering this sensor cable over here, but you don't really need to pop it off. You just need to lift it up a bit. So now you can press the left hook from the contact board. You can lift it up. So you see now you have three screws holding the head inside. Unscrew all of them. Don't lose any of the screws because those are only used for the print head. If you put any other screws, you'll damage the threads, and we don't want that. Now we can lift the head up, and you see you have this flat cable plugged in. All right, kind of messy here. The contacts are also a bit corroded, so let's see if we can clean that up a bit. There's even some ink on the contacts, but not much. I think this would be okay, but it's not perfect. But it will do. But we do have to clean this. I don't know what this is, a yellow ink I think, spilled inside, or mixture of something, I don't know. Have no idea how did that get there. Probably some cartridges was leaking. Alright, so we don't want any ink inside this carrier, because it could get to the contacts on the head or the cable pins, and of course we don't want that to happen. Alright, so it's some kind of a yellow ink mixed with something else. Alright, so this is the old head. It's also messed up a bit over here, but we won't be using it no more because it has a clogged black channel, so it's not really that important. New head. Okay, let's see. This cable is a bit more wider, so we have to be careful not to bend any pins. Okay, so that went fine. A little help from the pliers, because it's kinda okay. We're gonna put the screws back. All right, so we do need to place the covers back. The small one is already inside. If you need to clean some ink from the covers, be sure to do that, because it's only gonna cost problems later on if you do not. All right, that one is inside. We need to put this one back. All right, so this is the one that is holding the cartridges inside from rear. Place back the contact port. It's gonna slide in. We need to connect this cable on the right. All right, and we need to place it back inside beneath this bracket. All right, so we got that, and we need to put the sys system back. All right, so now when we start the printer up, again it's gonna place the head back and it's in its starting position, and should be doing head clean, one head clean. And if it doesn't, we need to, let me just get the power supply cable again. If it doesn't, we need to start it manually. So let's see if it's gonna start it by itself, because now we need to do a couple of head cleans, because this is a new head. It's completely empty, doesn't have any ink inside the nozzles. And we need to fill the head. You might do only one head clean, but it usually is not enough, so I'm thinking at least 2 head cleans, then it will suffice. But of course, if you do a CMYK test print afterwards, if you are missing some ink, then you'll need to go 1 or 2 head cleans more. But I think maybe since this is the sublimation ink, which is a bit more lighter than the others, I think that 2 head cleans will be just fine. So this model is kinda slow when you turn on the head clean, but it takes quite a bit of time, but it is what it is. So I think this is some kind of a head clean, which is turned on automatically, but we will do one more after this is done. And how do you turn the head cleaning without going to the software or the driver? You just hold the ink button until it starts doing something. Of course, first this green light has to be in ready position. So while it's blinking, it's still not ready. The printer is still doing something. So we're gonna have to wait for that to finish. Okay, so this is the ready position. So now we can turn on one more. So I'm holding the ink button until it starts doing something. And that's how I initialized another head clean. So you see over here the black ink is going through the tubes to the cartridge. Soon all the other ink should be going, also filling up the tubes and going to the cartridge. You can see the magenta is moving here a bit, and the yellow. Alright, so now the yellow is almost filled. Just a bit of air over here on the end of the tube. So currently it's not running much through the tubes because probably the cartridges are filled with no air, so they're just filling slowly. so it's still I don't know, processing something, but we will try to do a CMYK test to see if everything is there, or the four colors are, or the yinks are there. If something is missing, we're gonna fire up another head clean, but I think it should be working with this also. All right, so we are in the ready position and we're gonna try to test print something out. All right, so we had to place a carrier for the tubes over here, and also a carrier for the outside tanks of the system over here. And because on this system the tubes are kinda bit too short maybe for the system to stand on the level of the table, so it has to be lifted a bit more up, but not too much, because we don't want to when we pour in the ink right away to fill the outside tanks, we could make a bit more pressure than we need on with the ink on the head, so we might end up losing some ink if the outside tanks are lifted too high up. So they need to be somewhere around the middle on the side of the printer if the tubes are a bit shorter on the CIS, if you happen to install it yourself. And here's how it's printing. It's pretty good. We've already done one print over here on the left, but of course you have to do a couple of prints in order to properly fill all the nozzles. So this is the last print, this one on the right, CMYK, and that's pretty good. So that will be all for this printer.